Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the 718. I'm Salvatore Cassiolone with my co-host Charlie Crane, doing our first ever call-in session via Zoom.
What's up, Sal? How you doing?
I'm doing well today. How are you?
I'm all right. It's not really a nice day, pretty gray, but I'm excited to be doing this. First call in, I'm excited. So
Yeah.
I think our first caller for the day is Bo, originally from LA, but calling out of Staten Island today.
All right, let's get him in here. What's up, Bo? How are you?
What's up, Bo? How you doing?
Hello. Oh, no, I can't hear you.
Can you hear us?
Uh-oh. Well, this is a problem.
Hello?
Hello.
Not quite sure exactly what I should do here. Hang on. Here we go. Say something.
Hello?
Oh, perfect. What's up, guys?
All right. What's up? How you doing?
Doing well. How about yourself?
How's Staten Island treating you?
I had some pizza yesterday, and it was pretty delicious.
Where'd you go?
The place right near where you live. I don't know what it's called.
Cafe Milano?
Yeah.
It's pretty solid pizza. It's pretty
Got
solid
a slice
pizza.
of cheese. It was pretty amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, no, New York pizza is built different. You'll get used to it.
Yeah, we're.
Yeah, LA doesn't really have pizza. We do, but it's all like weird bougie artisanal pizza, and it's not right, you know.
That doesn't really count. It doesn't really count. Not the same.
It doesn't. All right, let's get to brass tacks, guys. You're the New York experts, right? What do the Knicks got to do to even come close to being a respectable organization?
I'll take this one. I'll take this one to
you
start.
can take this one.
All right. Well, sorry. As a Knicks fan, I am not happy with Tom Thibodeau hiring.
Okay.
I don't see it ending very well. I don't think it's the kind of modern basketball that I think Knicks fans want to see the Knicks playing.
Right.
And I feel like he wears out his welcome. He wore his welcome in Chicago and Minnesota, and by the end, players are tired of playing for him. And I think with such a disruptive owner, I think the last thing you need as the Knicks is a disruptive coach. And I can't see that partnership ending well at all. But it's the hiring they went with. But I think the first thing that I would do is you got to address the point guard situation. I think that Dennis Smith Jr. and Elfrid Payton need to leave the team. I'm someone who was high on Dennis Smith when he came out of college. I thought he was a really good player. I wanted the Knicks to draft him, and we didn't. But I think you got to move on from both of them this summer and draft the point guard in the draft. Ideally, LaMelo Ball, but anywhere in the top 10, if you could land a guy like Cole Anthony, I think that would be a really smart move. Sal, is there anything else you think is pretty pressing?
I mean, obviously, I'd like to say get rid of James Dolan, but I don't really know if that's really possible.
Right.
Rather than that, I'd say I definitely think we have to get rid of Dennis Smith, Elfrid Payton, and I'd honestly like to see us get a nice pick and draft a point guard because that's really what we need to do.
I didn't
ahead.
make you off. I don't think I know we just signed him last year. I'd probably move on from Julius Randle. I think there's some value in
Really?
that I would.
Okay.
I don't think I think Julius Randle is a good player, but I don't think he really.
See, this
fits.
is everything wrong with the Knicks right here. You guys get talent, you have it, and then you just
All right,
I'm still here.
Okay.
Okay.
You guys, you get talent, you have it, and then it doesn't immediately turn out. So you're like, move on.
No, it's not even that.
Where's the loyal? Julius Randle has been the one shining star on the Knicks.
I know, but I think that he's maybe the one player. Because Kevin Knox was awful this year. We cut Alonzo Trier, so those are like our two probably most promising young players.
Let me tell you, as a Lakers fan, okay, we've had so many players come and go, right? And when they're on the team, it's always, yeah, they'll be good one day, but we don't want them now, right? And then they're gone, and then and how can you not like Porzingis? How can you not see it, Carmelo?
I love Porzingis.
Mistakes happening over and over.
Yeah, that was unfortunate.
Like we had Julius Randle. I wish we still had Julius. We had D'Angelo Russell. We had Julius Randle. Why we got rid of Lonzo Ball and kept got rid of Brandon Ingram, but I'll never understand that trade.
No, Brandon Ingram, I think you're gonna miss the most because you were desperate to keep Kuzma, and
for no reason. We had a young Kevin Durant, and for some reason we got stuck on an okay shooter.
No, yeah, I don't know, but I think that Julius Randle. I think he's by far the Knicks' most talented player.
Yeah, I don't think it's time to move on from him yet, honestly.
I do. I don't think his timeline fits the Knicks' timeline right now, and I think that we would be better off.
What's his timeline? Well, okay, hang on. Explain. Well, hang on. Forget Julius Randle. What's the Knicks' timeline?
I think it's dumping salary, acquiring young players, and building on a very, very young core. And I think that – I know. And Julius Randle is by no means old. But I think that we could.
You guys need to start winning games now. You've been building for what, 20 years? Like you need to win a game like today. Like
no, but
opening game. You don't need to have rookies figuring out. Where am I?
Our rookies aren't figuring it out. So we need to draft better. But I don't want to just be perpetual 8 seed. I don't want to be the Orlando Magic. And I feel like if we keep Julius Randle, we're just going to be the Magic in New York.
You guys would be lucky to be the Orlando Magic right now.
Bro.
The Orlando Magic. Anyway.
No, I want to be top. I want to be top contending, and I feel like we have to do it the right way. No shortcuts.
How many championships does New York have?
2.
2?
Yeah.
Right. So you're talking about being like a dynasty like the Lakers or the Celtics. Y'all just need to get another chip. Do that first. Then you can worry about.
Yeah, but I don't think Julius Randle is the key to us winning a championship. I really don't.
He's the only thing you got right now.
No, if we get LaMelo Ball in the draft, I think that's a start.
By the way, whatever happened to – this is for both you guys. Whatever happened to the New York faithful and R.J. Barrett? Like, have you completely given up?
No. Absolutely not. R.J. Barrett is for the future. He's for the future. See, like R.J. Barrett was not great his rookie year, but I think we used him wrong, and I think he'll be fine.
Sal, I gotta know, R.J. Barrett. What do you mean used him wrong? Where do you see him? Do you not see him as a great starting point guard?
No, I still believe in him, and I still have hope in him, honestly. I don't think we should get rid of him. But I don't know. I think Julius Randle, keep him for another year or at least for a few more years. I don't think now is the right time to make an executive decision to just cut him or get rid of him.
All right. So looking forward for the next season, just another losing season, or if you're talking about getting rid of Julius Randle, who are you trying to pick up? Like, you guys have a lot of forwards, and you need to get rid of them. Who's someone you think you could get
out of Julius Randle,
or out of the pieces that you got?
I look for any mid to average 24-year-old player and draft picks. I think you get younger, and I think we have to get younger. But wow. I think that's going to be it today. We're running out of time. So thanks for coming on.
Oh yeah, no problem, guys. Thanks for having me.
Good talking to you.
All right, have a good one.
You too. Our next caller will be David from Staten Island.
David, can you hear us?
What's up, David? How are you today?
What's up, David? How you doing? I think we're having some technical difficulties.
David, you here? He's connecting.
Oh, there we go.
How are you, David?
Right, what's up, David? How you doing?
I'm chilling. How about yourself?
Doing well.
I'm good.
What's your question?
My question. So I've been watching the NBA. Obviously, the Knicks aren't involved in the NBA restart. So, what are we thinking about the draft for this year? Who we think the Knicks are going to take and what they need?
I mean, we were actually just talking about this. I think the priority for the Knicks is to get a point guard this offseason. I don't see
You don't think
RJ Barrett.
You don't think Frank can carry the team?
No, I don't. I
No.
think you got to move. I think you got to move on from Dennis Smith. Move on from Elfrid Payton. I don't see RJ Barrett as a point guard, and I think you got to look at getting Cole Anthony or LaMelo Ball in the draft whenever you can, or Killian Hayes, point guard out of France. I don't know much about him, but a lot of people rate him highly.
You don't think we should take the prospect out of Israel?
I don't think that he suits. I don't think he suits the Knicks' needs as much as some other players do. But I don't know what Sal thinks. He might have a differing opinion.
Well, obviously, the golden ticket for us would probably be LaMelo Ball, and I mean, hopefully, we're fortunate enough to grab him. Cole Anthony, like you said, is another good option. But yeah, I don't think Frank Ntilikina is capable of carrying the next organization to like where they want to be in the future. So,
What are your thoughts on the new coach, Tom Thibodeau, whatever his last name is?
I mean, I'm pretty vocal about not being a fan of the hiring, because I think that players hate playing for him by the end of his reign. But I don't know what Sal thinks.
Yeah, I haven't really seen that much about it, but what I've heard, it's all been relatively negative for the most part. So, I mean, I don't really.
I would have liked to see the Knicks go with a more progressive coach, a more progressive style, but it's not.
He's
it's
a
not
good
going to be like
coach, so
that.
you can't argue that. He's a great.
No,
coach.
I think he's a very good coach, and he pushes his players, and he gets wins normally. But I just think that I can't see it ending in consistent success. That's really just it. Like he might. Well, I think we might see immediate results, but I can't see anything long term.
You think there's any players we should target in free agency this year? Anyone specific?
I'm not. I think the Knicks need to drop the narrative that they need to win big in free agency, and that's their way back. I think,
They have to rebuild.
Yeah, I think they need to rebuild, and I don't have any players that I think suit us perfectly, because I don't know what kind of system Tom Thibodeau wants to run, but I think we'd be better off on spending our money wisely than just spending a lot of money. I don't think the solution is just try to hit home like a big free like Anthony Davis, because I see rumors about that like all the time on like Twitter and Instagram by Knicks fans like wanting that. Like I don't think just plug Anthony Davis into that team. I think we're still barely a playoff team. So I think it's about rebuilding right and getting pieces that suit the system.
All right, let's switch up a question a little bit. I have another one. All right. So what do we about the Yankees? All right, what are we thinking about Jay Happ? What are your thoughts on him? What do you think Yankees should do with him?
I'll let the
he hasn't been.
man in the room take that question.
I hate Jay Happ. I can't stand him. I have so little confidence watching him pitch on the mound. I'm sure he's a really nice guy, but we brought him in from the Blue Jays as a Red Sox specialist, and like I haven't seen anything, honestly. I feel like he's only on the roster now to just like take innings because we have injuries, and like I don't think he brings anything. Ideally, I mean, Severino's hurt, so he'll probably
We have a lot of injuries. We have Domingo, he's still suspended. I don't know for how long, good amount of time. I mean, Montgomery's just recovering, right? From he's throwing, right?
No, he's pitching. He's recovering from Tommy John, and Severino's getting Tommy John. But I think that I honestly think it's a miracle that Happ is still a starter, because guys like Herman and Severino, and then Tanaka was hurt in the beginning of the season and haven't been able to pitch. Yeah, no, but I think that the Yankees need to add a starting pitcher at the deadline, and I think we need 2 starting pitchers. I do.
We had a good core, but we had so many injuries. We had Tanaka getting beamed in the head. Like he's in Scranton right now. That's where he is right now. He has to recover.
I mean, he pitched an inning and a half. He did like a 50-pitch start. He was definitely on a pitch limit, and he got into some trouble, but he looked okay. I'm not worried about Tanaka. Tanaka for me is one of our most important pitchers come playoff time.
The one thing I've seen about Happ for the most part, honestly, is that like in his past 2 starts, he's just like he's given up a lot of runs. Like I mean, I figured sometimes you do well with the southpaw or whatever. He's got like a 10-point something ERA right now. Like it's not very solid coming into that. And I feel like if the Yankees, and I mean honestly, I think that the Yankees will win the World Series this year, but like given it's such a short season, I don't really know, but I feel like the Yankees have to do something and address their pitching next year if they want to be successful.
Okay. I think
Pitching
Herman.
has always been the issue for the Yankees. It's always
Mhm.
been. That's what last year that was the issue. The year before
Yeah.
that, we've always had consistent batting,
Mhm.
but the problem was always pitching.
Yeah, no. The Severino surgery, I think, really set us back this year because it asked us to pull in another starter like a Hap, like a Montgomery from day one, which like we would have ideally liked to have him work back slowly. But I think Herman's suspension is 60 games, so I think he should be eligible come playoff time. And I actually prefer Herman as a long reliever out of the bullpen. I like him to come in and like if we have a rough start, I think he's good at coming in and plugging a lot of those middle innings. But
I mean, we're gonna get Chapman back shortly. I know he's
yeah,
gonna start throwing soon. Our bullpen's
he's
not
throwing
the
in
issue.
Scranton. No,
Yeah.
our bullpen's not. I know that we're having some injuries in the bullpen too, but I think we're deep enough there. We got Chapman, Britton, Ottavino. I think we're okay there. Chad Green. Like a bullpen is not what I'm worried about.
In the next few seasons, it's going to get interesting in the offseason because we have a lot of players' contracts expiring. We have Judge, we have Sanchez, Glaber. Like, how are the Yankees going to sign? Like, Judge is going to want a max contract.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see how the Yankees are going to like figure something out because I know they can't pay all of them.
No, for me, Sanchez has to go. I can't justify playing him. I think Judge is. I think Judge and Glaber definitely deserve contracts. I think Glaber is. I know he's having a rough 10 games now, but I still firmly believe he's the future of the MLB. I think he's a generational talent. I really do. Sanchez for me, like people rave about his power. We can go find it somewhere else. He doesn't hit the ball. He's hitting .90. I can't justify that. He hits under 200 pretty regularly now. He's now just an average defensive catcher. I wouldn't pay him.
Yeah. You guys do have a lot of power in your lineup too, and I don't really think you guys need someone that bats like that.
I think a guy like Austin Romine, who I regret letting go, who can put the ball in play, who's a great defensive catcher, gets hits, timely hitting. I much prefer that. Especially with a guy like DJ LeMahieu, whose contract is up at the end of the year with no options. I think he is the priority to tie down because I think he is.
Yeah, DJ LeMahieu, can't complain about him.
I think he is arguably the Yankees' most important player. I think he probably is the Yankees' most important player. So I would not let him go. But I think that's all our time. So thanks for coming on, David.
I appreciate it. Have a good one, boys. I'm out.
Talk to you later. All right, so next caller is Steven from Freehold. Now, Steven is one of our closest friends. Has some of the hottest takes that I know, but some of the best sports opinions that I know. So let's bring him on.
All right. Steven from Freehold.
What's up, Steven?
What's up, Steven?
I just hyped up your sports opinions, so you better not let us down right now.
Yeah.
What's up? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How you guys doing?
Doing all right.
We're gonna talk some baseball today.
Let's talk some
baseball. All right. So I think what we should talk about first is watching every game with little bro, my dad, watching the Mets. I think watching Edwin Diaz try to close out a game is more painful than childbirth. So I think we should talk about the Mets bullpen situation right now. I think it's pretty painful to watch. I think we should talk about it because I have an unpopular opinion when it comes to the Mets bullpen. So
what's your unpopular opinion? Let's hear that.
All right, so I don't think Lugo should be the closer, and I'll tell you why. Because I like Lugo as a long reliever. He's kind of like a Walmart Josh Hader. If you think about it, Lugo, he's kind of like similar to Josh Hader. And he's not – Josh Hader's the best reliever in the game, so you can't call him Josh Hader. But he's close. And I don't want to take him out of his role. But I think what I would do is I would – it's a 60-game season. So I'd let Diaz – I would assess Diaz at like 25 games in, see how he's doing. I'd let him close out games right now that are like meaningless. Like when we're up like 10 runs or we're down 10 runs, I'll let him pitch the ninth. But I think – but everyone's talking about Betances and Familia, but the guy no one talks about in the bullpen is Justin Wilson. And he's been sneaky good the past year. And he had a bad game the other day against the Red Sox, but I wouldn't count him out to close out the ninth. I think he would do a good job in that role. Because I like Betances as an eighth-inning guy and Familia as a seventh-inning guy. But Lugo is a long reliever. But I think Justin Wilson can really close out games for us. What do you guys think?
Well,
I'll pass it to the Mets fan. Yeah.
I kind of wish, like, coming into the season, I really thought our bullpen was going to be like a lot better than it was last year. And like, I feel like since it is a 60-game season, I feel like whoever the hottest person is right now in the bullpen should have the role of the closer. And I mean, in an ideal situation, I completely agree with you. I would say that Lugo should be a long reliever because like his type of presence, like he's dominant out there. But like
Oh,
I don't really know. And like it's interesting to see what like Luis Rojas does because like we have people like Familia. And I really thought Familia was gonna have a good year. Like I'll be honest, like I thought he got a contract year. He signed a 1-year deal. Like I thought like potentially he'd be the guy to close
I
out
think
the
we got him for another year after this.
maybe. But with Diaz, you know, I was really hopeful. I was hopeful with Diaz. And like
Yeah, I know.
his game against the Braves was horrendous. Final strike, gives up a dinger to Marcelo
He's
Zuna.
smiling too. He's smiling.
Yeah,
Did you see
he's
that?
smiling. It's the
Yeah.
biggest bum in New York City right now. Like
He can't locate his slider for anything. For the
I
life
I
of
mean,
him.
personally, Edwin Diaz is my favorite Met. So I hope you guys
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
agree with
I've
him.
heard that. I've heard that.
I find him very fun to watch. But I agree that like as a Yankee fan, like watching Betances, I think Betances does his best work in the 7th and 8th inning slot. I don't think
Yeah.
I don't think you should use him as a closer. And I agree that I think you
agree.
can get more. I think you can get more command in the innings out of Lugo. So I think he probably works better as a long reliever. But like
Yeah,
I
I
don't
agree.
I don't like I don't watch the Mets bullpen like enough to choose
Yeah.
like a closer. But
Pretty bad.
I do think you guys should have a consistent closer. I know Sal said like go with whoever's hot. I like having a guy that I know I can go to in every 9th inning. That's just me. But so I would like I don't mind like if I was the Mets, I wouldn't mind giving it to Diaz. I agree, like for the games that like don't matter. Like I think you should look to nail down a closer as soon as possible.
well, let me be
Yeah.
honest with you. The reason why I say go with who's ever hot is because each one of these games is equivalent to 3 games, basically.
Oh yeah, pretty
And like
much.
Yeah.
and so basically it's like you need who's ever dominant out there now. Like I'm not waiting 25 games for Diaz to settle in so that way he could pitch while we're in the process of giving up however many games because these games are so valuable.
Yeah, I agree.
So I don't know. Maybe Lugo is the best choice for closer right now. But in a full length season, I agree with you, Steven. I think Lugo should be a long reliever. I really do.
But I think you got to agree that Justin Wilson is majorly slept on in that bullpen.
Oh, he is slept on.
Because I think he's honestly he might be our most consistent guy after Lugo, and I think no one really talks about him. But I think would do a pretty good job closing games for us. But the thing is, it's a short season, so maybe Lugo as a closer would make sense. But in like a long 162 game season, you got to have him as a long guy.
Yeah, that's what we need. Edwin Diaz had like 50-something saves on the Mariners. Like I was just really hyped to like bring that presence to New York, and like he only had like half of what he had in Seattle, and like in the process of blowing like 15 to 20 games. So really,
We do have the next match out for him.
Let's go. I have a question for you. Do you think that come MLB trade deadline, do you think the Mets will be in a position to buy to push for a playoff spot in the expanded format?
I do, but I don't know what move we would make because I don't see people trading. I don't see people moving as many pieces at the deadline with it being 18 playoff and it being a 60-game season due to COVID. But I think the name to watch for both, I think there's one guy in particular on the Mets and on the Yankees who's kind of similar. Like I think Dom Smith is the name to watch to get moved to the Mets. And on the Yankees,
he's a first baseman outfielder, right?
Yeah, but he's got no room. He has no room on the team. He's like our version of Andujar, except Andujar is more talented with his bat, but it's like the same kind of thing. Like they don't really play defense, but they have a good bat. I could see them getting moved. But the thing is, I kind of want a controllable guy if I was to make a move at the deadline. But I think the Mets should add a starter like a Robbie Ray. But I don't know. In a normal season, Robbie Ray probably would be the hottest name on the deadline at the deadline. But I don't know anymore with the 60-game season, you know. But maybe the Yankees. What do you think about the Yankees? Think they're gonna make a move?
I would like to see the Yankees move for a starting pitcher, maybe a relief pitcher, but a starting pitcher. I am vocal about not being a fan of Robbie Ray at all.
I know you're not.
But
I think he's got good
honestly,
stuff.
I was thinking about it a lot last night. Like, if it was Robbie Ray or nobody, I'd probably take Robbie Ray.
I hope
He's good.
Like, it's not my favorite, but, like, he's probably better than Hap. He's definitely better than Hap.
Yeah.
So even if it's just to fill a spot for now, I'd like to see. I really think that starting pitcher should be our priority in the offseason. A guy like
Oh,
Trevor
yeah,
Bauer, a guy like
that's
Bauer or
definitely.
Stroman. I think it would be Stroman because the Yankees went hard for Stroman when you
Yeah,
guys
I
got him.
think the 3 players, like talking about free agency, I think that the 3 pitchers that are going to be hot names are Stroman, Bauer, and Ray. But I think it goes Bauer, Stroman, Ray in the order of how good they are.
I
I
agree.
think the Yankees are definitely going to get one of those guys. I think the Mets are obviously going to get the worst out of the 3 and get Robbie Ray because I saw them linked to him and it probably makes the most sense. I mean, I want Bauer, but I saw somewhere that Bauer only wants to sign like a bunch of 1-year deals or something like that.
I
He
saw
doesn't
the
want
same thing.
Yeah, he doesn't want to commit himself to like a certain team, so I don't know with him. You
I
probably
mean,
take Stroman from us. I don't really know, but it's the main guy at the Mets. I want the Mets to get in free agency next year is definitely George Springer. I think
I agree with that.
he was an MVP. He was in my opinion the MVP of the American League last year until he got hurt. 122 games, 292, 39 home runs. He was really going off, and you could say the thing about the buzzer and the trash can, but he's a really talented baseball player, and I think that we haven't had a true center fielder in decades, and having him hit one for us would be huge. That's who I want in free agency.
I think that would be a great move for you. I really
So,
do.
Steven, you don't think
I
we
think
get
center
Stroman
fielder
back?
and bullpen. Hey, I cut Sal off. What'd you say?
Steven, you don't think we'd get Stroman back? I mean, I feel like he seemed like very like happy to be in New York.
Yeah, I think he wants to go play for the other New York team now because he grew up a Yankees fan. So I don't know. I think we're definitely going to get one of those 3 guys I said because I can't see us not getting it. But look, we have the coupons as our owners, so I don't really know how far that goes when it comes to money.
Yeah,
We're probably going to
talk
get
about that? Can we talk about that? Like, what's good?
yeah,
Cohen's got to be the
I don't
owner,
even know.
right, Steven?
I agree. But look, I am an A-Rod. I like A-Rod. I'm a Mets fan, but I think A-Rod's more talented than Jeter, and I think A-Rod is a Mets fan. But
That's
I
a
think
discussion
that's
for
a
another
topic for a
day.
different. Yeah, it's a topic for a different day. But I think A-Rod definitely would be a good manager. He just doesn't. I don't think he has. I mean, owner. I just don't think he has the money that Cohen has. Because Cohen, if he buys SNY and the Mets, is still worth double the amount of the richest owner, who's the Nationals owner. You know what I mean? Like Cohen right now is worth 3 times more than the richest owner in the MLB. So he's definitely got the money to do it. But the other MLB owners might not sign off on it because it's gonna be like a Steinbrenner situation with the Mets if you get Cohen because we're gonna go out to everybody. But with the coupons, I don't know who we're gonna get in free agency. But I'm saying if I was the owner, I would go after Springer first. I'd get one of those guys because think about it. Peterson's pretty good. David Peterson's a pretty good pitcher. Would you say so, Sal? I kind of like what I saw from him.
I loved his first start was really promising. His second start wasn't as good as his first, but I
What did
definitely
he had a bunch of strikeouts in his second start. He gave some runs, but I'm saying I think
he
he had a
gave
couple.
up some runs. But 5 1/3 scoreless from his first start. Not too bad for the kid.
And the Red Sox are a good offensive team, so that was promising. And not only that, the one run he gave up, it wasn't an earned run because it was like an error, but it was really not. That really wasn't a run because I saw the replay. He was out, and I don't know. He got into a bases loaded jam with 1 out, and he worked his way out of the inning. I was pretty impressed.
Yeah,
What do you think about Steven Matz though? I'm not
Steven
that high on him.
Steven Matz, I think we got to move on from him. He's a Long Island
Yeah,
kid,
I agree.
but I think it's time. I think it's time to move on, especially
No,
now.
from what I've seen, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan.
We got one more. We got one more year from
David Peterson's a lefty, right?
That I'm not sure. I know Robbie Ray's a lefty, so the Mets love bringing in lefties.
Robbie
Ray's definitely going to come.
If we were to get rid of Matz, who is a southpaw, I think it'd be like if we had another southpaw to fill in his role or someone like that. Kind of like what you have with Hap, because Hap's a lefty, and I don't know. I feel like you always need a lefty in your rotation.
I agree. And I think that the Mets' number one priority besides bringing Springer should be extending Syndergaard because this is my position on Syndergaard. I think he's the most talented pitcher in the league, and if we let him walk, I think that would be – I think pure stuff-wise, he's top 3 talented pitcher in the league. And I think that if we can't just – we either need to trade him for prospects or extend him because I'm not going to just have him one more year next year and not get anything for him because I'm going to watch him go to friggin' Rangers or Angels and win a Cy Young, and I'm not trying to watch that.
Yeah,
so I'm saying we definitely have to make a decision about him.
In a nice haul for him, definitely. And I don't know if the Mets are going to be willing to pay him after like his whole Tommy John surgery. But to be honest, how about DeGrom throwing 101? That's some pretty filthy stuff. 94 miles an hour.
I know.
Slider.
He's got insane movement. I think he gets better every time he goes out there, which is pretty insane. And I said to Charlie yesterday, and he's only 30. He's 32, but he started off his career as a shortstop. So he
Yeah.
definitely has more in the tank than a lot of these guys like Scherzer and Verlander who've been pitching their whole lives.
Yeah.
But Charlie, did you see that? I saw this today. Do you know John Carlos Stanton has an opt out after this year? You think there's any way
Wait,
he opts out of that?
Steven.
Yeah. I think we're running out of time.
Yeah, we're running out of time. But thank you. Our
Yeah,
Zoom's about to crash.
Ah,
Yeah.
Oh.
But
All right. Thanks.
thank
for
thank
coming
you,
on.
thank you guys,
Signing
thank you guys
off,
for having
guys.
me. It was awesome.
We'll
All
have
right,
you
see
on
ya.
next time. It was a pleasure.
Oh, it was awesome. All right,
Bye.
bye guys.